delay. We'll see if this comes online. All right. Okay. Nice. Live on YouTube. That's good. That's good. All right. Okay. Nice. Live on YouTube. That's good. That's good. All right. I'm going to keep this call open until, and I'm going to send you guys the link here. And then I just need to confirm that you guys can see it, and then we'll move over there. Videos, live stream, 5 people already watching. We'll move over there. Fantastic. Okay. You'd think I would know about technology and shit because I'm talking and preaching about it all the time. I just let Green Gene take care of all this business. All right. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. I'm sorry. I feel the annoyance. I feel your annoyance through the internet. Joe, Morton, you guys are upbeat guys. You're cool. Okay. There's the link. So click that fucking thing and give me some thumbs up if you can see it on YouTube. Holy crap, there's 30 people in here. Jesus. That's awesome. Thumbs up. What do we got here? Oh, Shamranks. What's up, playa? All right, Malik's in the hizzy. All right, okay. I am going to bid you all adieu. We'll end this hangout here. Join me on YouTube. And, oh, God, the whole comments thing. Yeah, hey, we got comments right here. Look at that shit. Let's see. Let me say hi. Hi. I mean, this technology is incredible. Not. Can you read me? Sup, Malik? Jay Measy, Cortec. All right. You can read me loud and clear. We're good to go. Okay, I am stopping this hangout. And I'll see you guys over on the YouTubes. All right, okay. Here we go, guys. Almost there, and we'll do a little introduction. Let me call up the Bud King. Real. Bud King.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, man. Sorry about all the issues there.
It happens.
Okay, sounds good. You've got some earbuds in. I can't hear my own voice. You got good audio. That's awesome. So let me do an introduction. You good to kind of dive into it? We'll shoot the shit for a little bit.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay, excellent, excellent, excellent. Let me just make sure that the video feed on YouTube is not this annoying picture in picture in picture in picture stuff. Oh, hold on. Hang tight, peeps, hang tight. We're getting into it. We're talking some lighting here. We are, oh. There's a convenient place for this.
Yep.
Okay. Now, picture in picture in picture. Let's get out of this. Main monitor. LED lighting bootcamp. That's a whiteboard, so that's good. So with the delay, we should be able to see this shortly. There's that. Live dashboard. Goodbye. Did that shut off the stream? Yes. Fuck. Hold on. Okay. Bud King, are you, can you open up a tab to my, oh, I'm still on. Oh, good God. What up? Thanks, Rough Habits. I almost made some racial slurs or something. No, I don't do that. Positive is how I live. All right, cool. So here we go, man. Here we are. What this is about, this is not taking the place or replacing the DIY Tech Talks with Green Gene from Green Gene's Garden and Robin from northerngrowlights.com. Check those guys out. He's got his new site up for some very cool new lights and parts and things like that. What this is I was recently on the Dude Grows podcast, as many of you are aware, probably all of you are aware, because I only sent the invite out to DGC. And what this is about, this isn't like a uber high-tech nanometer photon spectral analysis thing. It can be if it goes that direction. But what this is there's one of me and there's dozens to thousands of you guys that need help with your setups. You want to talk about you and your setups, and all I ever do on my channel is talk about me. So this is the time to talk about you guys, to invite people into the call. If you want to get in on the call, I think just based on I messed up and tried to do an on-air hangout, and only 15 people can get in. So I think the people that had signed up to talk couldn't get in. So what I'll need you to do is, let me just real quickly, let me open up my Gmail. And that way you guys should be able to, the guys in the DGC that had signed up on the dudegrows.com website, please just send me a private message here through Gmail, and then I'll put you guys in the call. So okay, introduction almost over. So we're talking general lighting bootcamp. We can talk anything you guys want to talk about, anything from your new garden layout for your 10 by 10 garden, your new layout for your computer PC tower micro build. We can talk grow hacks. I don't know about every single fixture in the world, but if you want to talk about grow hacks, you want to talk about cheap lights, high-end lights, Emerson effect, UV LEDs. I'd love to talk about UV LEDs with you guys. So this is in anything and everything. So if you guys are, just hanging out, listening, just, on a Saturday morning with some coffee, listen in, you might pick something up. My Google name is growmow5, because my email is growmow5@gmail.com. So if you want to get on the call, you can add me through there, and just make sure that you put what you go by if you're on Roll It Up, or what your username is, so I'll know it's you, because I think that we might get a lot of requests of people wanting to come on and talk. So there we go, 8 minutes into this beast. I'm going to take it off the whiteboard, and we will pop back up to the main monitor. Boom. Okay. And we'll navigate over to the Dude Grows website, and that's dudegrows.com. If you want to find out about the next LED lighting bootcamp, which will be more organized and start 26 minutes earlier, you will find that information only here at dudegrows.com. I got mad love for all my people on YouTube, all my followers and viewers and likers, even my dislikers. I got love for you guys too. You keep me honest. But if you want to find out about the second one, check out dudegrows.com, and where you'll go is you'll go over to Grow Blogs, and make sure to stop by the Dude's vlog, Scotty's blog, the Captain's Corner. Dude, I learned something every time I'm over at the Captain's Corner. Maestro's Mind, and then the Mousetrap, which I thought was a very clever idea, and then I realized Deadmau5 has had an album out for a year and a half called The Mousetrap. So sorry, Joel. I'm on a first name basis with him, sorry, dude. Sorry for being a hack and ripping off your branding and all your shit. All right, let me just get a swig of coffee here. Oh, yeah, that's the good stuff. Bud King, what's happening, playa?
Not much, man. Just ready to do some LED talk.
Ready to do some LED talk. Okay, badass. So tell me a little bit. I've seen a lot of your stuff on the Google Plus group. Why don't you just introduce yourself to the people out there in listener land and, your growing experience, what kind of lighting, nutrients, strains, just have at it, man. Let us know what's up.
Um, I've been growing for, I don't know, 3 or 4 years. Started out with HPS, just like everybody else. And I found Green Jeans and your channel on YouTube, and it was pretty inspirational. And so I jumped in feet first. I bought a bunch of gear and LEDs and drivers and started putting stuff together. And man, I'll tell you, the the improvement in my grows just from the lights has been over the freaking top.
Your improvement.
Um,
So tell us about your improvement. Are we talking about quality, quantity? Are we talking about faster finishing times? What are you seeing with your LEDs?
um, the trichomes definitely are thicker, more abundant. It's a lot of the heat that I was getting with the HPS. I'm not experiencing with the LEDs as much. I live in a really hot southern climate, so AC is pretty important, keeping the heat down. Um, and I'll tell you, when I'd run 1,000 watts of HPS on one plant, I would pull a pound and a quarter, pound and a half. My first grow, I ran 1,000 watts of DIY with the Crees, and I pulled 21 grams short of 2 pounds. So
Oh,
that right
nice.
there told me that it was by far, hands down, blows HPS away, in my opinion. Maybe that isn't the case for everybody, but for me, I it's just been a big improvement over everything.
Very cool. Very cool. So I have to admit, I'm three quarters listening to you, 25% trying to manage this and make this a nice watching and viewing experience for everybody. So go over a little bit about your LED setup, the not only the model cob, which I think you just mentioned, but tell us about the bin, the drive current, and your heat sinks and how you have that set up, and your grow space.
Well, I grow in a pair of um, 5 by 10 tents, no CO2. Um, I do a constant exhaust through the my scrubber, and I have it plumbed out of the house. Uh, when I first started, I was using the big uh, heat sinks from Heatsink USA, like you have on your site,
Yep.
and what Green Jeans was doing, and I felt like those were, by the time I got the drivers on there and the heat sinks and everything else, those things are freaking heavy.
Yeah,
And
they are a
you
little heavy.
know, if I was growing in a room and I could put them to the rafters or something like that, I would they'd be great. But for me, hanging them on a tent, it just was real heavy. So I decided to go like your first design, um, with the individual cobs or the individual heat sinks with the cooling fans off of a CPU cooler.
Okay. Yeah.
And so what I do is I run pretty much like yours is. It's a 3 by 3 square with 16 LEDs, and I set them up in a bar kind of fashion. So I've got 4 rows of four, and it runs out to right at 800 watts. But I'm running the HLG 185 1400 milliamp with the CXB 3070s.
Okay. So you've got CXB 3070s. You said you've got 12 of those. Okay.
16.
Jesus Christ. Okay. So you got 16 of these in a 3 by 3 fixture, essentially, right?
Yeah. So what I do is I use I think it's half-inch aluminum angle iron,
Okay.
and I'll drill and tap holes into the heat sinks to the sides of the cobs, and I just screw the angle iron right to or the angle aluminum, screw it right to the cob and or the heat sink, and then I cap the ends with more of the angle, and it just creates a little grid, and seems to be working pretty good for me so far.
Very cool. Very cool. Okay, so let's just kind of break this down for the people that are out there hanging out, listening. Something weird's going on in chat. I don't know. Illuminati, some weird symbols. Hold on just a second. Oh, the beep boop. Sorry, yeah, guys, sorry about the beep boop in chat. I think I've got that turned off. Jake Hogan, best YouTube experience yet. I don't know. I'm sensing some sarcasm there, and I apologize for my newbiness, but well, there we go. Okay, so let's just get into your setup, just for everybody. I mean, obviously you built it, so you know how it performs and you know its power. But let me just break it down for myself, and so everyone understands here on the whiteboard. So you've got 16 CXB 3070s at 1400 milliamps. So rounding that off, the cob themselves are seeing about 50 watts each, but with driver losses at about 6%, you're probably seeing 54 watts each. But let's just use 50 because it's a lot easier. So you said 800 watts of LED. Okay, and have you run that on a kilowatt to confirm your dissipation, or are you just going off of theoretical?
That's just theoretical. I have plugged a kilowatt into it, but off the top of my head, I can't remember what it was. It was quite a while ago.
Okay, yeah, it's probably a little bit over. Are you using A version drivers or B version drivers?
Bees.
B version. Okay, and do you have a dimmer or anything like that?
Nope.
It's
It's
wide
just running
open.
full power.
Okay. So some of these mean wells, even though they say 1400, if you run them with the dimmer lead completely wide open, you can get 104 up to 104, 105% on the lower drive current, like the 700 milliamp drivers. You can get up to 108%. So, 700 or 1000 milliamp driver, you're getting almost 1100 milliamps. So you get a little more current. Sometimes you pull a little more juice. So on my channel and my videos, I'm always, quoting theoretical and rounding numbers just to make the videos shorter and easier to understand. But sometimes you can get some serious juice out of these LEDs, more than you expected. So you have a 3x3 grid and you're illuminating half of a 5x10 tent, correct?
Exactly.
Holy crap. Sorry, I've got CXB. Thanks, Green Gene. I've got CXB 3590, on the brain. Nobody wants to talk 3070. Everyone wants to talk the newest, crazy technology. But as we talked about in Tech Talk, at 1400 milliamps, the Cree CXB 3070 is going to perform damn near just as well as the 3590s. So you're basically pushing, you're pushing a little over what a Gavita would push as far as par numbers in a 5x5.
Wow.
Essentially.
One just a side note. The reason why I went with the 3070s was purely financial. I found a screaming deal. I bought every one they had. I bought 48 of them. I got them for $13 a piece last summer.
No way. What website? Let's tell everybody so they can scoop you on the next deal. Do you want to reveal that website? You don't have to.
It was, I want to say it was Mauser.
Mouser? No way. It had to be somewhere like Newark. Are you sure it wasn't Newark?
Maybe it was Newark.
Okay.
It could have been Newark.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, I got them for $13, so I bought them all.
Yeah, Newark has been known. That's Newark.com out there, guys that are listening. Newark. Yeah, Newark.com. Yeah. They're a website like Mouser, and they're the big parts manufacturing distributor. But what we've noticed on the Roll It Up forums is that occasionally they will just have some screamers, some screaming deals. Not a lot of people talk about the CXA 3050, which is the same footprint, it's the same chip size as the 3070s, but we saw these going on Newark for like $12. We saw CXA 2530 going for like $6 on that website. So just because CXB is the new hot shit Doesn't mean you can't grow the dank with the older CXA. You can just fit a few of them less per driver. But so you guys keep an eye on Newark.com, man, because you guys out there that are on an extreme budget, they're like, yeah, LEDs are cool, but I can't afford it. If Newark.com has a deal, man, you can really get some good high-end lighting or medium-end lighting for pretty cheap. So you're pumping about 400, a little over 400 par watts out of your system. Let me just quickly figure out what a Gavitas pull about 11. I think it's 1125 at the wall, but I'll just say 1100 at the wall. No, it's 1150, right? 1150. Do you know? I've never run a Gavita. Let's say 1150.
I'm not sure.
1150. Let's assume it's a Gavita brand double-ended HPS with a brand new bulb and a brand new reflector. Let's give them 38% efficient. We'll do 38 and we'll do 40 just for shits. Let's see how many par watts we're cranking out there. 1150 times 38 is 437. Oh, okay. So you are actually just shy of a Gavita when it comes to par watts, assuming Gavita at 38% efficient. So you're really, really cranking it. Tell me about your density. Tell me about your bud density and what you're noticing as far as canopy penetration, because you have got a lot of photons packed in your space. So how high up are you lollipopping your plants?
Basically just from the trellis down, because what I do is I'll grow my plants big. I mean, I veg them out for quite a while, and they're real big. They might be 4 to 4.5 feet tall, real bushy. And then I go in and I super crop the hell out of them. I bend them all up and and I lay them out flat. And then what I've noticed is after I do that, if I veg it for 2 weeks, it's just insane, crazy what they do. So, I mean, I get real good light penetration. There really isn't a ton of lollipopping because I put the trellis just right down on top of them.
Okay.
And pull as much as I can through. And I mean, it just fills out my whole scrog.
That's excellent, dude. Real quick point of order. Thank you, Gene, for correcting my newbiness. I'm sorry, guys. I don't grow with HPS anymore, so I'm not like up on the current, stuff. No, but Gene, he told me Gavita's actually 42% efficient, so they're pumping out more like 480 par watts. So you're pushing 80% of a Gavita. Is that right? Yeah, 80%. Yeah. 80% of a Gavita. I think that's pretty good for a 5x5. How did you already tell us how high you're running your lights off of the canopy?
It'll vary anywhere from 8 to 12 inches, just depending on how the canopy is, because it can be a little uneven. Mm-hmm. And I just kind of play it by ear. I try to get it as close as I can without, thinking maybe I'm too close. There's no hard and fast rule on it. I just get it as close as I think I can.
Okay. So 8 to 12 inches, I mean, to me seems a little bit close for a 5x5 to get good coverage in the corners, but it's your setup, so I'm not second guessing you. Let me just finish my drawing here. I'm not running any reflectors on it though. They're just bare. You are not. Oh, okay. So you're getting about a 115 degree light emission off the cob, maybe 110, something like that. Actually, some light, it comes out basically 180. If you ever put a cob up against a plain white wall, you can see some light like just a few centimeters under there. And I'm not criticizing you for not running optics. When you're running this kind of setup with this many photons, and you're in a tent, I don't know if the investment in reflectors, well, back when they were $10 a piece and you would have to spend $160 on reflectors, I'd say fuck it and just run bare. But now that reflectors have come down in price tremendously, down in the $4 to $5 range, You're still looking at running spending $80 on reflectors, and it is the kind of thing that you could just on a lark go out and buy the reflectors and see if directing those photons down a little bit more would help you. As far as just wrangling photons and getting more into the canopy. So it's something to maybe consider, but I definitely wouldn't criticize you for running them bare in this kind of setup. In fact, if you're going to run a cob or any LED bare, this is the kind of setup. Your setup is where you would want to do that and try that. Did you mention what kind of strains you were running in there already?
Yeah, no, not yet.
Okay,
I
yeah, yeah.
run White Widow Big Bud, Heavyweight Seeds Fruit Punch. Um, I think I did a Strain Hunters, Moneymaker.
Strain
Uh,
hunters like the Arjun, what's his face from Greenhouse Seeds? That strain hunters?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
very cool. Tell us a little bit about that strain. Is it a
Well,
landrace?
y- you know, I don't think I think I either got a bad phenotype or I didn't really get what I was supposed to get because it didn't look like and it didn't perform like anything else that I had read on that strain. It it had good weight, the buds were huge, but they were fluffy. And I ran it several times under HPS and I think I did once under the LED and it just I don't think I had the right phenotype because it didn't give me those hard nugs and it smoked great. I mean, it did the job, but it just didn't have that bag appeal.
Yeah, and I experienced that as well. When people talk about a pheno hunt on online forum or in a video or something, they're like, "Yeah, I got a 10 pack of seeds from this supplier, and I'm going to do a pheno hunt." And I'm not making fun or talking shit about those guys. I've thought that to myself too. But if you're really going to do a pheno hunt, I mean, you need like 100 seeds. I mean, really, you could do a decent
Yeah.
pheno hunt with like a 20 pack. You can find some things, but if you're looking for a very rare pheno that has a 1 out of 16 chance, just from the old, what was it, Mendel's experiments, genetic experiments, where you're looking for like double recessive traits, that's a 1 in 16 chance. You can go 1 out of 64th chance on certain traits. Like there's some strains out there that are that have pink pistils, and that's a 1 in 64 chance that you
Oh,
would get that pheno. So yeah, maybe you got a shitty pheno, but that's pretty cool.
yeah.
And then the White Widow
Well,
Big
and
Bud, yeah.
it can happen because right now I've got a Cookies Kush from Barney's Farm, and it grows good, but man, this thing stretches like mad. I'm not kidding, 6 inches between the nodes. It's just crazy. And I met a guy yesterday. I was talking to him, and he ran Cookies Kush, and he said it was short, squat, tight, great nugs, and it. So I know that there's big variations between phenotypes.
Oh well,
You just
obviously,
got to
right?
get lucky.
I mean, obviously, a straight up Kush. The ones that I've seen and grown, they have 6 inches in between popcorn nugs, and then the cookies that I've grown, the straight up cookies, are stout as fuck. So that's
Yeah.
gonna happen. Well, let's bring this conversation back in. I think everybody that's been listening so far has got a pretty good picture of your setup, your strains, and how much light you're running. I'm actually really impressed with your setup, and I mean, you got that deal in the LEDs, but you still had to invest a lot into this kind of deal. So I think that's pretty cool. Was there anything that you wanted to get into as far as like questions for me about any future investments you're going to make, or any future setups? Like maybe you mentioned some far reds, or maybe some UVs or anything like that, or are you pretty happy with where you're at? All white cobs, right?
Yeah, all white.
Okay.
I mean, I'm real happy with the setup and the way that it's running, but I really think I could benefit from some far reds. You
Yeah.
know, I was just not quite sure what nanometer I need to focus on, um, how many I should put in as a supplemental to my current system. Maybe a suggestion on the driver.
Okay. Yeah, let's get into that. Okay, so there is a really popular little graph, very simple graph that popped up on the Roll It Up forums a few months ago, and I forget who posted it, but I wanted to attribute it to that person if I can remember. Gene, you don't remember who came up with the diminishing returns graph with PPFD and cannabis growth and photosynthesis. Don't remember who it was, but basically what it showed, and if I was better prepared and organized and didn't wake and bake this morning, I would probably have done that, man. But so basically what it showed was when you're looking at the photosynthetic rates of cannabis, you have a amount of PPFD here, right? And for those guys out there in the listener land, sorry, I'm a little high. I'm sorry. Photosynthetic photon flux density, I think. I don't, yeah, okay. So down here, you've got your rates of photosynthesis. You've got 0%, obviously, is no light. And then you've got 100% max photosynthesis. And then you've got these diminishing returns. Sorry. 100% is over here. 0% is over here. And the long and short of the graph is when you reach about 1,000 to 1,100 ppfd with most strains of cannabis, you see this like rounding off where this graph kind of tapers off like this. Okay, that makes sense. So it starts to plateau around 1,000 to 1,100 ppfd. So in your garden, you're right there. You're right in that range, probably over. You might be around 1150. I'd have to run the numbers real quick. But so when you ask me, just for everybody out there listening, I think you contacted me a little while ago and you asked me, should I add more cobs? Should I add some red? Should I add this? When you are rocking a 16 by 50 watt setup in a 5x5, you're not going to benefit a ton from driving faster photosynthesis through adding more cobs. So that's when you have the PPFD, everybody always asks, and I'm sorry, I just want to get this out there to help other people. When people always ask, should I add red? Should I add UV? Should I add all this shit? Get yourself up to a photon density that around 1,000 to 1,100 to where, the plants are to where you're the limiting factor. You've got good nutrients, you got good CO2, you got the right light, and the plants are photosynthesizing as fast as you can keep up with, then start adding UVs, then start adding far reds and things like that. And the reason, like in my garden, I'm down here. I'm down around 800. These are calculated numbers. I haven't measured them yet. I calculated at 837, I think, ppfd for my 32 Cree 32 3590s. At 700, right? So good efficiency, good photon output, but I'm down here. So people always ask, why not just add some reds, whatever? I'm not going to start adding reds until I get my photon density up a little higher. Then I'll start fucking around with that. So, okay, so Bud King, thanks for sticking in there with me. I'm trying to, keep this engaging for you and I, but also out there for everybody else. So, you're talking about adding far reds. So I've got some stuff that I'm going to grab off the floor here that I've prepared, so I won't have to leave the microphone. And I'll show you a couple simple ways to add your far reds. And I'll tell you about how many you need. And it's probably a lot less than you think. So for people out there that are just joining us on the stream, or maybe are flipping around in the future because they got bored, we're talking about a 5x5 space. So that's 60 inches squared. And we've got a grid of 16 LEDs, So, and we're talking about adding some 730 nanometer LEDs. So I'm going to go away from the whiteboard for just a second. We'll pop back up in the main window. And let me go over here to stevesled.com. Because I think Steve's LED is a good source for when you're in the United States and you need some smaller LED components. These guys started out more as an aquarium centric or aquarium focused supplier, but we're becoming powerful, guys. We vote with our dollars, and people are going to have to listen to us growers at some point, and they're going to have to start accommodating us. There are some people like Steve's, like Rapid LED, and like Cutter, as well as King Bright, who have realized that our money is the same color as everybody else's, but we probably have a little bit more of it to spend, and they're starting to accommodate us. So that's my little rant. So let's see, LEDs. If you go over here, we'll navigate down to the far red. Oh, how about that? Look at that. Now, when it comes to far red, you don't need the highest quality LED. You don't need the most efficient LED because they're only going to be on for 5 to 10 minutes. So I don't want to go fully into all the theory about the Emerson effect. But if you guys out there if you don't know what the hell we're talking about, go over here to rolledup.org and search for far red thread. It's a catchy title. It's very easy to remember. And this was a thread that was originally posted 28 pages ago by Raz. And he is the owner of TastyLED.com, which is another guy like me, like Green Jeans, that's taken it to a level of building his own fixtures. So read up on this thread, and it'll tell you about the Emerson effect and about some very interesting ways to trick cannabis into going to sleep. So, Bud King, I know you already know the theory, but just for everybody out there, the theory and, theory... maybe would not be the right word. I mean, this has been proven and lab tested. If you give plants a little flash, 5 minutes or 10 minutes of this 730 nanometer far red spectrum, just slightly outside of the PAR range, it tells the plants basically to go to sleep. And on a normal basis, when you just shut your lights off in flowering, 12-12, so at the end of your day cycle, and it turns dark in your room, it usually takes the plants hour and a half, 2 hours to say, oh, where'd the light go? I better stop trying to create sugar, and I better start processing the sugar, the product of photosynthesis. Let's process that into carbs. Let's process that into building blocks, because plants grow at night. So the idea is that if you flash them with 5 to 10 minutes of this far red, they'll go to sleep instantaneously, and instead of having 12 or 10 or 12 hours of nighttime, they think they have 12 to 14. So the two things that are advantageous about this, and there's so many different methods, and God, if I keep talking, I'm going to bore you guys to death, but there's a couple different methods to do this. One, you can start this in at around day 15 of flowering. You let your plants get solidly into flowering until you see pre-flowers, and then while using far red. And then at that day 15, you can start increasing the day cycle to like 12 and a half hours and night cycle to 11 and a half. And you can keep bumping that up and running like 13-11, 14-10. And the idea is that the plants have more time to absorb light, create sugars, and grow faster, flower faster, etc. Alternatively, you can just run normal 12-12 and just pop these on for 5 to 10 minutes at the end of your light cycle. And some people have reported a slightly faster flowering time, anywhere from 4 to 7 days. So that's the deal. So, Bud King, getting back to you. Thanks for hanging in there. These Epistar Far Reds, you may not get exactly 730. See, there's a range here, broad spectrum from 720 to 750. So when you get a cheap LED, it's not going to be a pinpoint range. So if you really want to pinpoint it at 730, you'll need to find a higher end LED. But you can get some of these Epistars. And one method to do it, let me switch back to the whiteboard here. One method to do it is like this. And I have a little video about this, and it was just a video. It was raining one night, and I couldn't do anything, so I decided just to stay in and make a video. One way is to do it is with a bucking style driver. And what a bucking driver is, it's a DC in to DC out driver. And all it does is it takes DC current and it kind of smooths it out, and makes it a constant current for the LEDs. So this is a Meanwell LDD1000H. And the H on the end just means that it has little pins. And this is what's called a Coralux 4-up board. You can use this board to run multiple drivers so that you can screw it in, or you can just solder to these little pins. There's also a version of this driver that actually has wires sticking out of it. And these things are $7, okay? So pretty much anybody can afford these. In fact, I went to McDonald's and it was like $6.50 the other day. So yeah, you can do this. And then what you can do is take any standard AC/DC charger and just cut the wire on it so it reveals DC positive and negative. And if you put 12 volts in here, you get around 12 volts out, which means you can run about 3.5 LEDs. Now, if you want to run a shitload of them, you can grab an old laptop. This one isn't from a laptop, but you can grab a laptop charger, or you can get these at salvage computer places. And they're going to be anywhere from 12, oftentimes they're 24 volts. Sometimes they're even 36. This one's a 48 volt DC, 2.5 amps. And actually, this is a 36 volt. So this will supply 33 to 35 volts of forward voltage to LEDs with just this little single driver. Now, these are 95% efficient, but these are like 88% efficient. So you lose a little juice in the conversion from AC to DC. But with this little bucking setup, now you can get a laptop charger, you can power up this Coralux 4-up board, and you can decide, oh, I want to use a 700 milliamp for these far reds because that's their max current. So you take that out, you plug a 700 in, or you could plug a 500 or 350. Then you can run your UVs off of this one here, and then you can run your 630 nanometers here and your 660s here. That way, like, look at the size of this. You've got power supply, you've got 4 separate driver channels, and all of these drivers are PWM or pulse width modulation controllable. So then you get yourself a little controller like from Steve's LED. I don't know how the video is on this, if the lighting's good enough or not, but you get yourself a little controller, and look at that, man. You take some cable ties, you ghetto tie that shit all together, and you got a 4-channel driver setup for all your little colored LEDs, your far reds, all your UVs, and everything. So that would be my suggestion for you, Bud King. You're looking at $28 for 4 drivers. If you want to get this board, I soldered this one because I'm a huge nerd and I enjoy shit like that. But I believe these come pre-soldered with the little connector on here, and I think they're about 15 or 16. You'll have to just search Coralux 4-up, or you can get a 2-up, a 3-up. I think there's a 6-up. So, let's just say 15, 20 bucks on the board. So you got about 50 bucks in this, 50 bucks in this, and if you can salvage this, maybe 20 bucks. So for about 120 bucks, you can get your power, your timer, your control, and then all you need is the LEDs. Now, with your big heat sinks, you mentioned, what heatsink profile are you, is this 16 cob setup that you're running, is that the CPU setup? The CPU?
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Okay. So a CPU cooler, it'll handle a good bit, but there's not a lot of real estate on that thing. So
Exactly.
for the far reds, you mentioned, can you see my whiteboard screen? Are you watching YouTube simultaneously? Okay. There'll be a delay. But you mentioned you've got some aluminum L bracket here that you're running as a mounting substrate, right? And you've got your heat sinks here. What's the thickness on that L bracket? Is it 1/8 inch, probably? Standard Home Depot?
Yeah, it's about that, about 1/8 inch. It's from Home Depot.
Oh, okay. 1/8 inch is actually a decent size, substrate for a 3-watt LED. And the thing about these little guys, you're only running them 5, 8, maybe 10 minutes. What I would suggest is, I think 9 of them is probably overkill. I think 4 far red LEDs per 5x5 space will be more than enough. Because again, you're not photosynthesizing, you're just sending a signal. You're just triggering a response from the plant. So yeah, I would run 4 of them per 5x5, and I would just use some thermal compound or some thermal epoxy and stick it right to that angle iron. Just clean it off with some rubbing alcohol and just stick it right there. And I think, yeah, dude, I think that, for that kind of money, you'll have a setup where you can run your far reds, you can digitally control them, and then later you can start adding some other colored LEDs if you want. What do
Yeah,
you?
that sounds exactly what I'm looking for.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, cool. Cool. I was trying to kind of give everybody about 30 minutes since we started at 12:30. We're coming up on 1 o'clock. Did you have anything else you wanted to discuss before we try to start getting some other folks in?
No, I think that covers it this time.
Okay.
Might have something next time, but we'll see.
Why don't you do me a favor and let's hang out on the call for a bit if you can, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if Malik can get in here. So give me just a quick second. Let me try to call him up, man. You got to call Tyrone. There you go. Perfect timing. I like it. Is that your cell phone ring, the Old Spice?
Yeah.
All right. In the interest, let me catch up on chat here real quick, guys, because there is a little delay. So Malik emailed his questions. Let's see. Let me just catch up on chat. I have not been reading chat for the last 10 minutes because I've been on a monologue. Oh, Highroot. Okay, Highroot brings up an interesting thing. And Highroot's been on the Rolled Up forums for a while, for those of you that aren't familiar with him. And he introduced a concept, introduced us to a concept that Indigo does. And Indigo is I'm going to say this wrong, not plasma. What is that other weird tube lighting? I'm brain farting right now. It's not plasma. Highroot, help a brother out. What kind of lighting do you run from Indigo? Anyway, they have a little setup where a far red slowly charges. It slowly charges a little battery during the day, right? And it must have a little photocell. When the lights shut out, that battery lasts long enough for 5 minutes, and then it runs the far red for 5 minutes and shuts off. So that means you have no funky induction. Thanks, brother. I'm sorry. I'm just so spacey on that shit. I think that's a pretty interesting concept, having zero wiring and having a battery run them just for 5 minutes. And if it's 6 minutes, fine. If it's 4.5 minutes, fine. But that's something to look into. And I'll bet that would be really easy to either control with an Arduino or just control with the battery like they're doing. Oh, it's a relay. It's a relay, not a photocell. Okay, sorry. Sometimes, I get a little retarded.
Yeah,
Okay.
you could probably do that with a relay and the photocell, just like how you have it where it'll turn on your fan or whatever when the lights come on. I know they have the reverse. When it goes dark, it'll kick on, and you just have the relay on a timer.
Oh yeah, that'll work.
I don't see why that wouldn't work.
Well, hang out with me, Bud King, for a second. I'm gonna get our next victim in on the call here, and the next person that was gonna want to come in on the call was Honey Badger. So let me get a hold of Honey Badger here. Just a second. Let me go to. Here we go. Honey Badger. Can I join the Hangout? Yes, you can. Let's add him. Video call. Oh, sorry. Sorry about the noise, YouTube. I don't want my communications coming through. Oh well. Okay. Next victim. Sorry. Here we go. Bear with me. Actually, you know what we can do in the meantime? If you guys are interested, I don't know if you are, because you might not be. But I put out a video a few days ago, and it was called The Ultimate Grow Light, because what I wanted to do was nerd out and build a one-off light and show you guys how to do it, or use carbon fiber and put some tits on the end of it and make it look like a Lamborghini and shit like that. But what I realized within about an hour of putting the video out, the comments were we want modular. We want something everybody can do. We want something everyone can afford. We want something that's just more streamlined, like the Model T or the Volkswagen of the LED light. So that is what I'm setting out to do. That is what I've been working on this week, and I want to show you guys my progress, you know, if anybody's interested. So Jesse Wilson asked for boobs. Alexander Toth asked for flames on the side. Hopefully, I mean, flames are easy as shit on the side if you like run a create like 5 amps. We could do flames, dude. We could definitely do some flames. Let me show you my progress actually. And what I'm going to ask is that anyone that's listening right now that wants to get in on the call and talk about their setup, so that I don't have to ramble on and try to multitask, go ahead and hit me up on Gmail or GChat so that I can just simply click that little camera button and add you into the call, and we'll go one by one. If you have a new setup, you have a grow hack, it can be a quick question. It can be something simple. If you guys want to hop on the line, it's growmal5@gmail.com. I think you can access me that way. Let's see. Oh, Jesse Wilson. Hold on just a second. And if your name is that, if that's your name, oh, dude, Jesse wants to hang out. Sweet. Oh shit, I just published. Sorry. Make sure, dude, I'm sorry, I'm running a lot of stuff here, so if you're a very private person, you don't want your first and last name on YouTube, then, you know, please make sure you conceal your identity. All right, give me just a sec. Bud, can you hear that annoying ringing?
No, huh?
That's not coming through. YouTube, is it ringing when I call somebody?
Well, there goes my telephone.
Okay. Oh, there he is. Okay, good. Jesse, how's it going, brother?
Oh, I'm failing miserably here.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, hey, I'm failing too. So, hey, welcome to the show. You know, the LED Bootcamp. Thank you so much for sending a message. Sorry it took me a little while to see it there.
It's all good. I was trying to get in. I couldn't get into your YouTube video, and now I'm like, my Gmail's gone. Your video's here. Whatever.
You know, when we were doing those DIY tech talks and everything was on Green Jean's side, I was like, come on, you nerd, just make it work. It can't be that hard. It's Google. But now I am feeling his pain. I am feeling his pain. So, so Jesse, can we call you Jesse? I mean, I guess it's too late now.
No.
All 89 people already know what's up. So I'm just going to keep everything on my end, just kind of private so that I don't reveal your face or any personal information. But why don't you introduce yourself to everybody? You're a DGC, right? Dude Grows Crew.
I am just such a noob getting back into this after a very, very, very long time.
Tell us where you started, man. Tell us where you started growing.
Well, you know, once upon a time I lived way out in the bush, and so it was easy to drop a seed here and there, and you know, I didn't have to worry about things. But
the bush, now that's an Australian term, but I'm detecting a little Canadian in your voice there.
It might be, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Oh, Bud left the call. Okay, Bud, thank you so much, dude. Thanks for hanging in there on the maiden voyage. So, okay, Jesse, sorry, take it away, brother. So you're out in the Canadian outback, hanging out with. Now they don't have kangaroos there, but they have bears, grizzly bears. So you're growing.
Yeah.
You're growing some herb under what kind of lighting back in the day, and what year are we talking about?
Back in the 90s, and that would have been under the sun. But
the 90s in the sun. How fucking old are you? Jesus Christ. All right.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to get back into the new technologies. You know, like HIDs were always you know, had I don't know, worries. You never know what's going to happen. You know, super high power, super high heat. You know, like you don't want to burn your house down, shit like that. So, you know, LEDs always seem pretty intriguing. And then as I learned that LEDs weren't realistic for growing things, you know, just kind of abandoned that. And that was, you know, 2000. And so nowadays, obviously things have changed. So as I start learning about some of this stuff, it's kind of blowing. You know, I've got a Mars Hydro, obviously different than the Cobbs, but I'm looking at doing maybe a retrofit or something like that these days. So That's why I've been trying to soak up everything I can from you, because the stuff you've been publishing is pretty inspiring and like super polished and like totally impressive. So I mean, obviously people here seeing your work and they're impressed and they're following you. So
Cool,
just want
man.
to keep going.
I
Doing cool.
appreciate it. I appreciate your support and the kind comments, man, because
I had the engineering chops that you got, so
you
know.
do or you do have the engineering background or no?
I don't know.
You don't.
I'm a different kind of nerd bit. So, I'm interested in the Arduino stuff and being able to, program PLCs and systems to automate stuff. But, in the meantime, what you're doing here is technical enough for my liking and, not too over my head. So it's good.
Well, you got to get a little technical with this shit to make it work. But, I'm trying to make it accessible for people. And, for everybody out there that watches this, I put out another video last week that was called I was going to call it Ultra Noob Basics, but I think we'd get somebody rolling up in a short bus that couldn't understand that. I think my first video in my DIY Basics series was a little too advanced for some people, and I think I just kind of got into it and hit record. I didn't think I was going to make 6 of those things, and after I watched it back a few times, and some pretty constructive but negative feedback came back that was like, dude, this video's like a lost leader, or it's like I called it for noobs, but it just assumed too much knowledge. So I'm not doing a new series. All I did was I went back and shot an episode 0 basically and retitled it. Instead of 1 of 6, it's 1 of 7. So anyway, hey, enough about that. So we'll call this segment Old Dog. That's you, Jesse. New Grow. Okay, so you got some HPS experience from back in the day, and now you're looking to get into the new technology. So you can hop on the forums and be a nerd like all the rest of us LED guys. So
I've been looking that stuff up for the last 2 months, and it's just been awesome seeing how much community there is out there.
Are you a grower for entertainment, social? Do you have any medical conditions that you feel comfortable revealing, or what's your interest in cannabis?
Well,
recreation. It's fine if it's recreation. I'm recreating right now, dog.
I'm a recreational kind of guy, but I mean, to be fair, the issues that I have aren't the kind that they give you the prescriptions for. Like I'm an asshole by genes, as far as I can tell. So I'm actually I'm actually a lot more pleasant to be around when I'm slightly medicated.
Okay.
So
you're suffering from assholeitis.
Yes. And so like I'm not a high test guy. Like I like to get the stuff that's gonna allow me to be creative and functional. Mental still in a good way. And I find that every hookup I find in my neck of the woods is all about the cushes, and I find myself couch locked more than anything else, and so that's not really helpful for me.
You don't want the couch lock, but what happens when a good show's on Netflix?
Well, I've got other things in my life to keep me entertained through those times, and I mean, there are times when it's nice to be a little elevated for a show, but like it's not necessarily my reasoning for it. But
okay.
Regardless,
well, let's get into it. Let's get into it, man.
With the supply, it's good what I want,
Okay.
And so that's my biggest draw.
When the zombie apocalypse comes, dude, you're not going to want to be running out fucking trying to find herb. You're going to have your own shit. So tell us a little bit about your grow space. Do you have a size in mind? You look like you may be in a lower level or possibly a basement area right now.
Yeah. I got a little 3x3 with an AK clone I got from a friend. So.
Okay, 36-inch by 36-inch space, and we're going to be running AK-47. Old school Nirvana strain, or what are we talking here? Is it just a buddy of yours?
Yeah.
Okay, very cool, very cool. What did the grower tell you about the strain? Is it because I've seen AKs grow 5-6 feet, and I've seen some AKs stay around 3.5, 4 feet.
Yeah, man. Like it's I have no idea. The only information I got is 9 weeks flower.
Okay, what's the height of your space?
Well, technically at the moment, I suppose 7 feet, but that's not reasonable long term or anything.
7 feet max, right? Okay, so would it be fair to say that you are interested in a low profile lighting setup?
Yeah, something that's not going to be hard to clear the heat, and you know.
Sure, sure. Okay. Okay, cool. Do you have a budget in mind? You're thinking LEDs, or are you thinking, so you have a Mars now, is that
Yeah,
correct? Okay.
it's a Noxious Mars. It's like the 1200 model, and it's the Mars 2 1200, I think it is.
Okay.
I bought it secondhand from somebody who got rid of it. So, the idea here, I've seen that it's possible to reuse a lot of this stuff to actually, a retrofit with new technology and gain some efficiency and what have you, save some bucks on the power supplies and the chassis and all this kind of stuff. So,
Oh, okay, okay, cool. Sorry, I have to apologize. I have about 12 different windows open right now, so I am listening to you. I'm trying to get a picture of what we are doing, but we're talking about a Mars hack,
yeah,
right? Okay, okay, cool. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so we are a budget conscious, and I'm not going to attempt to spell conscious in this condition, and we're talking about a Mars 2 with the black case, right?
yeah,
900, 1200, what'd you say?
the 1200.
The 1200. Okay, so that has 6 drivers in it, right? You opened it up already? Did
I
you,
haven't, no.
you haven't. Okay. I believe and I've been going through this with a lot of people, all the different Mars and Galaxy and all those. I believe what the 1200 I believe the 1200 has 6 drivers, but it
I
could
think
have 9.
because I mean, just what I can see through the fans on the top, But
Okay. Well, Malik, thank you. I'm glad I'm entertaining you. Hold on. Someone's teaching me how to spell conscious. Hyrule is. Con science. That's fucking easy. All right. Con science. I even spelled it wrong. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Con science. All right. So let's just go. Let's assume 6 drivers. If there's 9 drivers, then you and I will get together and we'll talk. So 6 drivers. Now, what I've noticed since my Mars hack video is that people are like contacting me through Instagram and everywhere else and saying, "Hey, help me with this, help me with that. What's in this? What's in that?" And what I've been doing is I've been attempting to help those people, and I've been taking notes. And I've seen one guy, okay, that has a 4-year-old Mars 900 that has a driver. Okay, so what we're talking Mars. I'm gonna switch color pens. Yeah, let's switch color pens. Okay, we're talking Mars Hydro, we're talking Grow Hacks, and we're talking the driver. So I've seen option 1 where a guy had a driver that was the forward voltage, which determines how many cobs you can run, how many volts are available to turn on LEDs, had a voltage of 80 to 100 at 515 milliamps. Okay. Now I've seen another one, and these are pictures that I've seen from people. Now they may not be accurately describing what they have, but I have another guy told me that a Mars 2 1200 had another driver in it that had a forward voltage of, I think, 70 to 90 at 650 milliamps. So I'm going to try, because you haven't opened up the driver and you don't know exactly what you have, I'm going to try to give you kind of a general recommendation on what you can do. So do you understand the voltage and the amperage and how those interact in the LED? If you don't,
Yes.
it's okay. Okay, so you do. Okay,
Well,
anyone?
I think I do, but
Okay. Well, I've got a whole video on it that I just put out a few days ago that anyone that's listening can go back. I'm not going to explain the whole thing, but basically, the voltage tells you how many cobs you can run, and then the amperage tells you how strong you're going to run them, right? So when I did my grow hack, I used a Cree CXA actually. I didn't say it was a CXA because I didn't want my LED snob brethren making fun of me, even though there's nothing wrong with CXA. Now these CXA, it's the older model, so it has a forward voltage of about 42 at higher currents. I've seen them run around 40 volts at lower voltage. The softer you drive them, the less voltage they soak up. It's like a sponge. I ran one of those. I ran 2 of those per driver. So as you can see, if you have 90 or 100 volts available, divided by 42 is over 2. It's like 2 point too, basically. So you could, if you're very budget conscious, you could look for some Cree CXA 3070s. And, I can help you look throughout the week. If I see some deals, I can email them to you. That might be a good place to check Newark.com. How budget limited are we on this project?
I haven't even really started, planning stages at this point. It's just something that's piqued my interest. So,
Piqued your interest. Okay. So,
so
one option would be, you could do it very cheap. You could do it with the CXA 2530, which is a smaller cob. It's a 63 watt cob. I've used them, and I get them from fasttech.com. And when you go to fasttech.com, this is the only Cree cob that they sell, and it's the only color they sell. So it's impossible to order the wrong one. So they're $10 each. So that's kind of pretty much anybody can kind of afford that. So what you could do is you could run 2 of these per driver, and then you have 6 drivers. And that would be my recommendation if your drivers have the 500 milliamp drive current. Or 650 would be okay as well. You get about 30 watts or so, 25, 30 watts out of each one. So 6 drivers times 2 of these per driver, you'd need 12 of those. So, you'd end up spending about $120 on the cobs. There are some cob holders for the CXA 2530 that are in the $1 or $2 range from Newark.com, and you could get the holders and some self-tapping screws and a little wiring, and you could follow along my video, and you could do this, and you'd have a decent little light. If you wanted to go a little bit different direction with it, you wanted to invest a little bit more money, there's 2 options for you. If you want the highest quality light, the highest, newest technology, but you are on a budget, what you can use is you can use the Cree CXB 3590, but you can use the 72 volt version. Okay, and what that means is there's 2 versions. You've heard me talk about this light in my videos, right? The 3590.
Yes, I have.
You're familiar with it. Okay. So it comes in the 2 versions, 72 and 36. And people always ask, what's the difference? Which one's better? They're the same. It's just the 72 volt uses more forward voltage, but it produces more light at a lower current. So, the 72 volt at 700 milliamps is equal to about 50 watts, whereas the 36 needs 1400 milliamps to be that same 50 watts. Now, the difference here is if you were running the 36 volt, you'd need 2 per driver to give you that 50 watts. But if you run the 72, now you only need 1 per driver. So your cost just got cut in half, right? Now, it's not going to be the same efficiency as the 36 volt at 700, which is a 25 watt per cob setup, but you can cut your costs in half. So you got 6 drivers, you order 6 of these, assume they're $50 each with a holder, that's $300 into the project.
I am a little bit OCD about efficiency. So
you are OCD about efficiency? Well, then if you wanted an ultimate kind of set, well, as ultimate as retrofitting a Mars can be, right? If you wanted I'll say the best setup for a Mars hack, you would go with the 36 volt version. And you would bite the bullet, and you'd need 12 of those, right? Yeah, that's right. You need 12. Yeah, you need 12 of those, and those will run at 25, 26 watts a piece, and that'll give you a very high efficiency setup in the low to mid 60 some odd percent. And then if a driver blows out or something goes wrong with the Mars, you have an investment in the best technology right now. And as your budget recuperates or you want to move forward into your own heat sink, your own fixture, you've already kind of made your way. You can start with something that'll work today, and then 3 months from now, you get a little more money coming in. You could do a full setup and reuse these cobs.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a lot of downtime to retrofit that either. Like if you put the panel together to put into the Mars and then build all of everything else afterwards to take the LEDs out and put back into the new unit, right?
Yeah. That's a great idea, actually. You order in your cobs, you retrofit the Mars on day 1, Then from day 2 to 14, you're ordering in heat sinks, you know, you're bolting them together, you're doing wiring for the newer, higher end, full DIY setup. And then at least you're growing day 1 or day 2, right? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Or
Yeah.
even 3/4 of the way, whatever the case, even one grow to the next. You could run the whole grow with the retrofitted Mars, and then while you got your grow going, you can so you don't have to because I mean I don't use the LED obviously for anything beyond flowering. There's just no point.
Right on. Right on. Well, cool. Well, that would be a good setup, I think, for you for doing the Mars. And again, subject to confirming. And I'd love for you to get back with me and maybe send me a picture or email me a picture of the inside of your 1200. Because, now that we've talked and you seem like a pretty credible guy. I mean, you are suffering from assholeitis, but we can cure that, man. There's a cure, brother. There is a cure.
I'm feeling all right.
All right. Yeah. I need you to email me a picture of that if you can find the time. And, that way, if something's different, I can help kind of guide you through any alterations to this plan. And, obviously you can holler at me. You know where to find me, right?
Yeah, man.
Cool. So just for anybody that's just now getting into the stream, we just finished up talking with Jesse, old dog, new grow, had some experience in the 90s. He's got a couple of ailments that he's trying to grow his own herb for in a 36 by 36 with an AK-47, and he's looking for a budget-conscious setup for the Mars 1200. So we went over that. So Jesse, anything else you wanna rap about a little bit?
I feel like I kind of hijacked your video here accidentally. I wasn't. I was just trying to find my way in to watch the video, and we ended up on the air talking. So that's cool.
No. I think you're okay.
With my Mars retrofit, but as long as you keep doing what you're doing, man, like I know I can figure out in between them. Now that we've touched base, I'd be happy to keep you abreast.
Oh, that's okay. The next person on my list was Honey Badger, but he didn't answer. And then I sent an invite to Veg Scrog Bloom, but something might have come up. I did. Let me go back real quick. Viewers, hang on for a second. Let me go back and see who's next. Honey Badger, you've been contacted. Veg Scrog Bloom, you've been contacted. Bobby, I really wanted to talk to Bobby. I want to talk to all you guys actually. And I was going to the. Is my whiteboard still up?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Sorry. Hold on. I was planning on going to Pueblo, right, guys, for the Cannabis Cup, but that isn't happening. So now it's in San Bernardino, right? Yeah, San Bernardino. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. So it went from like a little bit of a far drive to get to Pueblo, but doable. I could load up my dog and shit and drive out there. And now I definitely will have to fly to Cali. But that's okay. I'm really excited. I really want to see all you guys. And I was thinking I could probably make a YouTube video about it. But I was thinking maybe we could do like an LED, or not an LED, but like I feel like we've got like a little micro community between the Do Grows crew is its own community, obviously, but we've got the DGC, we've got the guys on Roll It Up and gals, and then we've got the YouTube peeps. So I thought we could just do like a little social media, maybe meetup kind of thing. And more on that later. Yeah, I have a dog. Yeah, so more on that later. Sorry, getting a little sidetracked. My ADD's coming back. Hold on real quick. Sorry, bear with me. All right, who's next? OJ Metal. Okay, I've gone through the list. Everyone that has signed up on the bootcamp on dogrows.com has either been contacted or talked to. I will now open up the call lines for any person watching this broadcast. Malik. Oh, you know what? Let's do Jesse, can you stay on the line for a second?
I can probably give you a couple more minutes, but I'm gonna have to.
You're gonna have to run? Okay, I will take the hint. I'll let you go, man. Thank you so much for participating in this, and I'll let you run. And please stay in contact with me. Let me know how it works out.
Will do for sure.
All right, buddy. Take it easy. Okay, bye. All right, guys, it's just me. I'm still here. Don't go anywhere. We got a couple more things we want to cover. Let's just answer Malik's questions. Malik Spider from the DGC, active member, cool guy. Let's pan on over. Actually, you know what? Let me see if I can just drag this into view. Hold up. No, that's not going to work. Okay, let's just go over his questions. So Malik is asking three or four questions. He says, what is the BML or fluid science or closest fixture I can use for a basic closet? Let's go to the whiteboard for this because I know that I am a visual guy, as I'm sure many of you are because you're watching a YouTube video. So Malik he's talking about BML, he's talking about Fluence, and I contacted the guys over at Fluence to try to get some kind of interview going because their lighting, their science is pretty compelling. It's a little different from what we're doing with the Cobbs, but their science is compelling and their design is compelling. So I wanted to try and get in contact with them. Unfortunately, I think they're a little busy right now. They did not get back with me, but for those of you guys out there, we're talking about we're talking about BML horticulture, right? BMLhort.com. You can go over there, but we're also talking about Fluence bioengineering. And you guys know I am a pretty big lighting nerd, so I thought, what does Fluence mean? I know I've read that somewhere before. And I looked up the definition, and hold on. Fluence, fuck. Just a second. I'm supposed to commit this to memory so it would sound cool. Fluence definition. It means something kind of cool. A stream of particles, okay? A stream of particles crossing a unit area expressed as a number of particles per second. So fluence is another way, I guess, of describing PPFD or photosynthetic photon flux density. So I thought that was a cool name. Sorry I didn't have that memorized. I feel really stupid right now. But so we're talking about BML, we're talking about Fluence, and I assume they're the same company, and you know they're just a different branding. And I think these are geared more towards greenhouse. They're geared more towards commercial, but it is also possible that BML will become Fluence 100% once all the BML spiders have sold out. So back to Malik's question. Malik owns, we're talking Malik Spider from the DGC. He owns I think he owns a Spider 600 Start Max. I think it's a Start Max, which is a little bit less red. It's kind of a full cycle sort of deal. And he says, what can I use for a 3 foot wide by 5 foot high by 3 foot deep, 5 foot high, 7 foot wide. Okay, I got it now. 7 feet wide, and we're 5 feet tall. So it's pretty short room. 5 feet's pretty short. So, you know, that's definitely smart pots on the ground or in saucers or something like that. So 3 by 7. So, you know, you can think about lighting it this way. I personally think about lighting it this way in modules. I think in terms of bars and modulars and modularity, and you guys are thinking in terms of modularity as well, and we'll talk about that here in just a second. So I would think of that in terms of bars, and the Fluence bars, I believe, and we'll pop it up on the big screen here. Let's go over to Fluence Bioengineering. Let's check out their website because it is a very cool site. Give me a second. Fluence Bioengineering. Sounds high tech. If their lights are as good as their name, it might be a nice buy. So let's check them out and look at their technology. So you'd be looking at the Viper, I think, for modularity, and it's interesting how you know, a lot of people are independently going to a modular setup when it comes to LED offerings for the public, whether it be DIY or commercial or whatever. I would think if you're going to buy something, if you like your BML and you want to go with something, I would think the Viper X, which is their smaller model, and then they have the Viper X Plus, which is more of a greenhouse mounted up to the sky sort of thing. These are let's get the size of this thing. I don't know how long it is, but we'll find that out later. I would think you would do a couple of these, probably 3. You'd probably need 4 of them, so that's going to be some money. But you could start out with 3, or you could put your spider in the middle and just buy 2 and put that on the outside if that's what you're trying to do. Let me look at your other questions. Is that the Viper Fluence is coming out with? Is it only greenhouse or will it fit in a closet? Yeah, it'll fit in a closet. You just need the smaller model. The Plus is gonna will burn the shit out of your plants probably in a 5-foot. Are you using the flower initiator, that Coma Steve foliar in your garden still? I am using Costa Mesa Steve's foliar mix, but first, Steve's mix is aggressive, dude. So I kind of chill it back a little bit. I use about half strength, and for my foliar, I like to use heavy 16s, foliar 16, because it's a good seaweed mix and it's really cheap on Amazon. And I like to use the optic foliar. So Malik, hopefully that answers your question. If you're wanting to expand your current space into a 3x7, 5-foot tall, stick with your BML 600, probably in the center. And if you want to stay in the BML family, I would go with 2 regular Vipers on either side, and I think you have some great results there. Last question here, and then we're gonna look at something I think you guys will be very, very interested in. Hey man, love it. This is from Central Cali Redneck 420. Hey man, loving the live boot camp. Can't get on the show, no mic or anything, but for a DIY setup for a 2-foot by 4-foot by 7-foot, which is a very standard grow tent that many of you probably own. I have one sitting in my closet. I keep my dirty laundry in it. With air in and exhausting aid through carbon setup, what kind of lighting setup would I do for that? I'll tell you exactly what I do for a 2x4. If you are on a very limited budget, very limited, you could start with 1 bar of cobs, and you do 5 cobs, 5 CX whatever, 3070. You could do Vero 29. Let's do yeah, you could do Vero 29s. Actually no, I don't know if you could do Vero 29s. Just stick with the Cree, 5 of them, HLG 240, HLG fucking marker. Hold on. HLG 240, 1400 will run 5 cobs, 5 of these CXA or CXBs, and you can start with that, and you can get some pretty good results. If you really want to fucking rock it out, just double it. You know, there you go, brother. Okay, guys, so let me just check back in with you guys. We are coming up on. I wanted to do 2 hours. We started at a little late. We started about 12:26, and now it's 1:30. So we've only been in for about an hour. Oh yeah. There you go, brother. Gene, man, dude, I fucking miss you, bro. I miss you, bro. You're so much smarter than me. You could also do for that kind of setup a 36-inch bar with 4 CXB 3590s or 3070. And you could use the HLG 240 1750. That'll give you a little bit of extra juice right there. That'll put you from a nice C cup right into a full. Let me switch markers. That'll put you from a C cup into a full D cup. And that will give you that little extra juice. That's what you're going to want right there. There you go. Boom. Okay. In your opinion. Well, your opinion is highly valued, my friend. So Malik, your typing fucking sucks. Get some microphone headset thing so you can come on the show next time. And thank you for your question. You can't see the board. Oh, fuck. Sorry, dude. We don't see your board. Okay, well, I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. You should see my... hold on. Look at what I'm... Nah, fuck it. Here we go. Hold on. Hang tight with me, guys. Y'all are my peoples, man. Y'all are my peoples. Let's do it over. Let's do it over real quick. We'll do it fast. We can do a bar, a 36-inch bar with 4 cobs. Okay. Or we could do a 5-inch bar. All right. Yeah, we could do a bar with 5 cobs. And we could do, for the 5 cobber, we could do the HLG 240-1400 A or B. That's going to run 5 cobs. And that's going to give you 250 watts. Or if you wanted, you could go with the 4 cob setup, save you a couple buckarooskies. 240 HLG 240, but you could use, this is a new drive current that meanwhile really only offered in their like lower lines, like their LPC line, but now they're offering it in their higher end line. That's supposed to say 1750, and you know, give you a nice little C. This will give you a big D. There you go. Boom. Okay. Now, none of you nerds want to get on here and talk to me because I'm looking at my electronic mail and I have, oh, 6 socials. Hold on. Jesse, talk to him. Hold up, players. Hold up. Told me I have to wait till someone leaves. Oh, Brian, I'm sorry, dude. Room is full. Let me holler at this dude real quick. Let's see what's up. Here we go. Yeah, I want to chat with you, Brian. I'm using real names here, but I will not use your last names. I will not. Won't do it. Not gonna do it. Who else? That's all the contact I have. So, you know what? I love talking about myself because I think I'm awesome. And so let's do that. Let's talk about myself. Are we showing the screen? Yes, we are. Oh, welcome. Welcome to my little corner of the world. This is kind of where I live at, peeps. But yeah, you play on too, playa. Irie? Yeah, I'm feeling pretty Irie. I'm feeling pretty good. Pretty good. How's that? Should we turn the mood down? No, let's keep the mood up. There we go. Okay, peeps. So here's what I've been working on. Let me get a sip of coffee. Coffee and weed. Hold on. Whew. All right. I had to get some go juice. Little go juice. Okay, so here's what we're talking about, peeps. I did a video. I was going to make a light and just try to be awesome and be like, oh, look at me, look at the shit that I can make and no one else can probably fucking make unless you're a machinist. And then all your comments came out and I switched the title of the video from Ultimate Grow Light to open source community grow light because I started thinking that, you know, technology and information should be free and more accessible to the people that I care the most about outside of my family, which is cannabis growers. And even if you're a dick to me on my YouTube channel or online and you leave me thumbs down and call me a douche, if you're a grower, I still like you. So I want to help you. So here's what I'm working on. And I don't want to make a lot of promises right now because I don't want to overpromise, underdeliver. But let me tell you what the idea is here, guys. So full credit goes out to Mr. Green Jeans, #1 stunner, and Robin. Let's just navigate over really quickly. Let's give Robin, you guys remember Robin, right? Robin from the Tech Talks. He was the gentleman with the English accent. Let's go over to his website, which is www.northern. Why are people still saying www on like interviews and shit? Like, oh, tell us about your website. Oh, it's www. Is there anywhere else other than the World Wide Web? Stupid. Okay, Northern Grow Lights. northerngrowlights.com. And now let me take you to the main monitor. Welcome. Whoa, wait. What happened to his website? Could have been a spelling error, guys. Could have been me. northerngrowlights.com. Here we go. Hello. This is Robin's website. And Robin is one of the people I go to when I don't know the answer to something. And he is a very well-read individual when it comes to lighting technology and photon engines, okay? He's offering a discount code for new orders because he's just launched his company. That discount code is Photon10. That's also the name of his light. So we talk a lot about efficiency, and we talk a lot about low drive currents and multiple cobs and things like that. And while that's the way that I choose to run my garden for the highest efficiency, I realize, and I've started to realize, that just because you grow cannabis doesn't mean you got a lot of money or any money to to buy bud, to buy gear, to buy equipment, whether it be DIY or otherwise. So Robin's kind of filling in a little niche sector of our market where he's offering a series of cobs that perform very well under high drive currents. Namely, the Vera 29 was the original use it, abuse it. What's the saying? Hang it up, rode hard and hung up wet. Is that it? Yeah, I think that's the saying. Like most of the women I see riding on the back of Harleys. But anyway, so he's offering a design, okay, where he's got Vera 29 top bin and he's got CXB 3590 top bin, both of which perform very well at over 2 amps, which means that you get 100 watts of cob out of it. And we've seen this kind of setup from some other manufacturers. A lot of times they weren't dimmable though. So what this will give you is for a fairly low price, you can get into something that gives you the dissipation watts and gives you the 100 watts each. I don't know what the efficiency is, but we can read on here. And it gives it to you for a pretty low price. Or you can dim it down and pull 100 watts in a small tent or something like that. So I think it's an important niche for the industry. And I think his lights will do very well. He's put a lot of thought into the thermal management of this light. Each light has a very high-end computer fan. They run almost silent. I've had these in my Amazon shopping cart for like 2 years now because I've been wanting to add them to my loud-ass computer. And he has a thermal switch on each cob so that if one overheats, the other will still run. He's got an excellent glass optic and a high-quality driver. And I think these things are about 400, a little over $400. So check them out at northerngarage.com. But okay, he's also got some heat sinks. The reason I came over here, sorry, the ADD's kicking back in. Hold on. Okay. He's also got a passive heatsink kit that's got pin heat sinks that him and Jeans turned me on to. And now it seems like it wasn't like I blew up the spot on these. The guys over at Cutter were planning on bringing this in, and they were planning on doing a kit all along, okay? But when I contacted them, it kind of lit the fire under their butt. And I woke up this morning, and this was kind of interesting. I woke up this morning, and Deep Web is fucked. Yeah, it is. Yo, Bowser. ZZZsleep.com. Am I putting you to sleep? I hope not. Yeah, Robin does have a good voice. Should be Jake. Live feeds, same as YouTube videos, about 1 hour at the end of the live feed. I don't know what that means. Let's go back. What was I doing? Oh, yeah, Cutter. I was over at Cutter this morning because somebody messaged me on Instagram and was like, oh, how long have your kits been out? So this is Cutter's kit, okay? These guys were going to do this all along. They had been planning it for months. I contacted them and was like, hey, can you guys get us a heatsink that's pre-tapped? And just kind of lit the fire, just kind of add a little gas to the flame. So I have not even had time to click on this yet. There was a coming soon banner, and now I'm over here at cutter.com.au, an Australian company, authorized Cree dealer, has offered discount codes to roll it up in the past, is an active member on Roll It Up, offering advice to us guys out there, and is supporting us by, bringing us some high quality at affordable low prices, best prices you can, typically find on this kind of stuff. So let's click on this and see what happens. It's the first time I'm clicking on it. It is available. Okay, now they are pricing in Australian dollars, so don't have a heart attack. Do not freak out and have a heart attack. Let's see what the kit is running. 3,500 CD bin. So US pricing is $538 for, what is that coming with? 4 CXB 3590s, 4 cob holders, 4 reflector adapters, 4 reflectors, the thermal, a dimmable driver, allows the cobs to be run under 50 watts if you want. It comes with a dimmer. It comes with the heat sinks. Pre-drilled, pre-tapped, comes with the screws. So all you're going to need to assemble this kit is, switch back to the main deal here. Now, I realize I'm going to have to go through and do the numbers on the, the pricing here and figure out what all this stuff would cost if you bought it piecemeal and see what premium you're paying for having them pre-drilled, pre-tapped. But I will tell you guys one thing. I fucking hate tapping heat sinks. I hate it. I love this stuff, but I hate drilling them and I hate tapping them, because when you break a tap, it's like the heatsink's not ruined. You can just change the geometry, but it's just, if you're OCD at all, it just sucks. So what's the value on that? And what's the value on the passive heatsink? So you'll have to look into that. But I think it's going to be a pretty cool kit. So let's pop this camera up a tad. Let me go back over to the live dashboard, see what you guys are saying. Loving those kits. IP66 commercial bar will cost that much. Yeah, true that, true that. I think the moral of the story is, again, I'll have to look at the numbers, but yeah, maybe you could save a couple bucks doing it piecemeal. I know that heatsinkusa.com is a very affordable, high quality heatsink. It is not anodized, and it has a 1.5, I believe it's 1.36 or 1.46 centigrade per watt thermal resistivity, and these anodized pin heat sinks are 1.06. So they're essentially, what that means in green cheese, please correct me if I'm saying the wrong thing, but what that means is that the resistance to giving away heat, to getting rid of the heat, is 40% better with an anodized pin heatsink than it is with a typical extruded thin heatsink. I think that's what that means. But again, when it comes to thermodynamics, I'm realizing, did you guys see my face? I'm realizing that there's a lot to it. And I'm trying to obtain SolidWorks, which is a CAD and a CAM software. It's like $4,000, but my neighbor works for them. So I'm trying to get him to give me a free copy, because SolidWorks, you can run thermodynamic simulations where, like, let's say your lighting fixture is here, and you have a circulation fan in your room that's like 2 feet away. You can account for your circulation fans in the thermodynamic simulation of your heat sinks, and SolidWorks will do that. So if anybody, yeah, I have Fusion 360 and I'll talk about Fusion 360 in a minute. Tyson, does Fusion 360 do that kind of thermodynamic simulation? But anyway, what was I saying? I was saying SolidWorks. I don't know. I don't remember. But let's look at what I've been doing, okay? And let me change the lighting so you guys can see what the fuck's going on. Now, if you buy a cutter kit, and I'm going to do a video on a cutter kit. I have a cutter kit ordered, well, basically standing order as soon as it comes in, so I can do videos on it, show you guys, how to use it, the best way to use it. But if you are planning on doing a cutter kit and you think the price is reasonable and you don't want to tap and you don't want to drill and do all that shit, buy a cutter kit. I don't get any kickbacks or anything. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I just think they've supported us, and I'll help support them, like whatever. And I think it's a cool idea. Now these are some pin heat sinks that are not cutter. They're actually slightly smaller. They're about 15% smaller than the cutter heat sinks. They're not tapped or anything, but I wanted to have them on hand just for the sake of having them, because they're cool. Now, if you order the cutter kits, it sounds like they're going to be pretty complete. They're just, as far as mounting options, you're going to need something to mount it to. And the simplest thing is this angled aluminum. So this is about 1/8 inch thick angled aluminum. Now, Lowe's and Home Depot pricing, it's decent. It's about $1 a foot there. But if you go to any metal supplier, you can get it for 50 cents a foot. And so your simplest way to mount these round heat sinks, whether you buy from Cutter or you buy them somewhere else, the simplest way is going to be to just mount them in a rail system. Now, these don't have the flat sides. The Cutter ones have a flat side on it that's tapped and drilled, so you can just screw some holes in here and and bolt it on. And for the purposes of running a 4-cob or a 5-cob bar, this is all you need. Okay, if that's what you're gonna do, save yourself the money. Go down to Home Depot, build yourself a little rail, pop some passive heatsink on, bada bing bang boom, you're good. Now, when it comes to the topic of the open source grow light kit, what I'm doing is I'm designing everything in a program that Tyson just brought up called Fusion 360. It's by Autodesk. And it is a free trial for 30 days, or homo detected. Who's the homo? Me? Anyway, So Fusion 360 is a free program for 30 days, or it's like $40 a month for a license. You can do all sorts of cool shit in Fusion 360. I'm doing all of my drawings in Fusion 360, and then I am publishing them all over on a website called, what's it called? GrabCAD? Hold up. There we go. GrabCAD. So if you guys want to see what's going down over here, go over to grabcad.com. Just search me, GrowMouse5 or GrowMouse, and you'll see all my designs. This is version 1, and I'll have all my designs here. I'll have all my Fusion 360 designs. I'll have probably V-Carve designs, Mach 3 for the toolpaths. And when I figure out how to do the toolpaths for cutting, I'll have that here as well. But if you know a machinist or a water jet guy, I want you guys to have all my designs. So here we go. So here's what I'm working on. Everyone wants modular, okay? And there is nothing more modular than a maker's rail. This is a maker's rail. It's an aluminum extrusion. I believe the terminology is, they call them 80-20, but this one's 30 mil by 30 mil. And this stuff I got from Figurelli Automations. It's 4 feet, and I got it for $4 on closeout. Typically, these things are going to run you, about $2 a foot, something like that. And it is rigid, dude. You can build 3D printers and CNC machines out of this stuff. It is rigid. This will be the substrate for my system, the system I want to design with you guys and build with you guys. We can collaborate on Fusion 360. If you have any CAD experience, we can work on it together over the internet. We can share it on GrabCAD. This will be the substrate. It could either be a rail type system, or you could chop it into little blocks or buy it in little blocks. You can get this on eBay, Alibaba. Just search for 80-20 aluminum. These holes you can just ram screws into, self-tapping screws. You can run all your wire down the center. So wire management is going to be a dream come true by either running through the center, or they sell plastic little ridge caps. So you can run all your wires here, cap it. I mean, you'll get a professional look out of a maker's rail. And all the designs that I'm working on are going to work with the maker's rail. Now, these are cut on a CNC mill. I realize that is going to be too expensive and too time consuming. But what I will eventually do is do it a file for the abrasive water jet, because companies can water jet out 100 parts in the time it takes to cut three to 5 parts on a CNC mill. So it'll be a water jet file. There are companies online, you can have them water jetted. If you need 100 of these, people contact me all the time privately about, hey, I got a 40 by 40 room and I need you to do the DIY. I'm like, bro, I don't have that kind of time. So this would be the kind of thing you could order 100 of these. And so why do you need it when you can just mount to an L bracket? Well, when you have a bigger substrate like this, okay, then that allows modularity. It allows mobility. So by using simple Home Depot hardware, like this little nut here that goes in this extrusion, then you can hold the heatsink down. You can toggle the heatsink, for fine adjustments with your power meter. You can, let's say the corner's not bright enough. You leave yourself enough slack in the wire, boom, you're illuminating the corner. Or let's say that run, your 4x4 tent, you only have one plant. You snug everything in. You can, do double attachments in this method, and you can attach other heat sinks. So this is infinitely expandable. It's, it'll be a completely universal system. And then in this one, since this heatsink doesn't have the flat edges like the cutter heatsink, I did this little shelf. I had to mill it. And obviously, I'm a new machinist, so I fucked it up. So I got to resurface this. But this, if it was tighter tolerance, we could either glue this in with some thermal epoxy, or I could come up with some mounting solution. Then we have a substrate where we can design, or I can design, a printed circuit board, an LED ring with 630 nanometers, 660, UV, far red, whatever. And then that way you have individual modules that have everything you need for like 1 square foot, okay? So this is version 1. It was fail, too heavy, and not enough modularity. This is V2. I haven't published yet, but this could be the simplest, cheapest way. I'll publish all these designs, and you can have a water jetter cut these out for you dude, if you get 100 of them, you can get them pretty cheap. Or if you get, 8 of them, you can still get them pretty cheap. This is version 3 I'm still working on. I got kicked out of the machine shop last night at 2 a.m. So I didn't have time to cut it out. But imagine this was concentric, and it had the same kind of shelf or had a mounting solution. Now you've got, this is 3/8, but you could do it at 1/4. Now you've got a substrate with a hole in it where you got a little more surface area, and you've got even more modularity. You know, now you can do some incredibly interesting shapes. You can have them hanging off the sides, you know, hanging off the end. You could have them just bolting in whatever kind of fashion you want. So this is the kind of concept I'm thinking about. I will make a video about it, and we'll collaborate and we'll talk, and I will take you guys design ideas, you know, into consideration when we move forward with this project. But if I can supply you guys with these, I will try. Or if I can just work with a supplier, I mean, like Cutter's doing, and work with a water jet supplier that you can call up and say, yeah, give me some grow mouse, give me 8 grow mouse, or give me 12 grow mouse. Like they'll have them maybe pre-cut. So yeah, that's what's going on. Thermal silicone, yes, I like that idea. I'm not familiar with it, but I think you may be onto something. And Gene, I haven't even told you about this. We'll collaborate on this too, because your input is very valuable, and you're part of the community. And even though you own your own company, I think you still want to see DIYers be successful. So yeah, Inventables, yep, that's a great spot. Inventables.com. Thank you, Tyson. That is an excellent place to get all kinds of hardware, extrusions. You are going to pay, their prices are very reasonable. You're going to pay a slight premium for that. But they've got everything you need. Yeah, I got AutoCAD Inventor as well, but Inventor does not do the cam and the toolpaths like Fusion does. And Fusion can, you know, you can collaborate. So yeah, torrent CADs are cracked though. Let's see, Kick-Ass, you got, yeah, I'll have the CAD. All the drawings will be available to everyone for free on GrabCAD. GrowMouth 5, just look it up. You can download the first one today. You can download, I don't have version 2. Is it this one? Oh, it's this one. The only version I have right now is the smaller version, but it's incomplete. I'll delete that and I'll get these 2 versions up later today. But just, you know, bookmark GrabCAD, and that way as my designs come out, or our designs come out, you'll have access to this stuff. And then, you know, hey, if you want to just kick tires or whatever, and just figure out what your build's going to cost, take my file, send it to a company like bigbluesaw.com. Let's see. bigbluesaw.com. Send my file to Big Blue Saw and say, hey, how much is it going to cost me to cut out 32 of these things, and get yourself a price. Like I said, I'll have a water jet file, so it'll all be 2D. It'll be cheap. It'll be easy. We could even probably do it at a sheet metal for like $2 each. But at this is 3/8. I'm thinking 1/4 inch. You know, will be the most economical and be rigid. But we could probably go even slightly. We probably even do 1/8. We'll work it all out, guys. We'll work it all out together on my YouTube channel. So I think I'm kind of wrapping up here, man. I think I'm kind of losing some steam. 2 o'clock, so we've been going for an hour and a half. So if there's anything else, yeah. Oh yeah, by the way, you know, by the way, I do want to spotlight also. I always try to show the love over to the Pacific Light Concepts, and let's all in the chat room thank Green Gene for coming and hanging out and staying the whole time and helping me give accurate information when I was having stoner moments. What? Fuck, what's the website? that. Pacific Light. Oh, I forgot the S. I didn't say Pacific Lighting Concepts. I'm not that big of a noob. I'm only a moderate noob. Let's look at the store. Green Gene, okay. Green Gene's coming in with a lot of the parts that you would see online that you're like, oh, I want those reflectors. Oh, I want those mounts are so much cooler. Or look at this sticker that I can put on and do thermal transfer instead of that goo stuff. So he's coming in with all the annoying shit that I can't source and you can't source, and he's sourcing it. He's ordering a lot of it. He's putting it up on his website for everybody. So if you want some parts, this Pacific Light Concepts would be another great place for you to go and hang out. And he's got the 3590s, y'all. CD bin, 36 volt in the hizzy. So check that out. Check it out, y'all. Big Blue Saw, hadn't done business with him yet, but I also have a guy locally that has a water jet that I'm going to holler at and get him to cut me the prototypes. So let's look here. Let's see what the... Oh, God. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. 1.75 centigrade per watt for a 3-inch section. Okay? These pin heat sinks are 1.07. Do the math on that, and that's, I don't know, a lot more efficient. So there we go. What's everybody saying? Giggity? Yeah, giggity to you too, brother. I know it's a pain. I need to buy plc.com. Yeah, you should. You should do it. But don't search it too much, or those fuckers from GoDaddy will come up and be like, hey, are you interested in this website? I know you've been, like, perusing it. How's $10,000 sound? You know? So there we go. Thanks, all. You're my boy, Blue. You're my boy, too, homie. Great job. Great job to you, Morton J. Malik, get a fucking mic. But I love you, bro. What's the weight on those? What is the weight on these? I don't know. I'd have to put them on a scale, and that would require me leaving the microphone, and I don't want to do that because we're wrapping it up. We're doing the outro. Let's read some more comments here. Oh, some hearts. Faded MBS. I heart you too. I hope you're a girl, because although, I keep it irie and positive is how I live. If you're a dude and you're into another dude, that's fine with me. I particularly am into women. So if you are a woman and you do love me, message me after the show, because the Grow Mouse is single. You could be my, which one's the cat? Tom? And which one's the mouse? I don't know. One of us could be Tom and one of us could be Jerry, and we could just figure some things out. So, okay. Well, guys, it's been a fun show. This is not a replacement for Tech Talk. I'm not like leaving the band or anything, man. Oh, hey, what's up, Danks? The band's still together. We're just kind of doing a couple solo projects right now. And, we'll come through for a little reunion tour when things kind of clear up for Robin, launching his new LED company. And, Green Jean's been getting a lot of shit up on his website. He's working on a prototype. Obviously, I'm trying to get y'all hooked up with some fucking mounting shit, open source, trying to keep some shit real. Let's see. I wonder, could it be possible to use active cooling with a small solar using waste light? That's an interesting concept, Minecraft. You may want to look over on eBay for micro solar panels. You can get about 15 of them for $20. Are you on a mission from God? Yeah, I'm on a mission from Jah, man, trying to keep it irie. The new Lumi LEDs, I don't know anything about them, Cannabis Sativa. I have heard of it. I have not looked into them, but I will look into them because I like to stay up on things. Oh, you have those. Okay, Solar has this. Don, Grow Daddy Don, dude, thanks, man. You're a very positive guy, and I enjoy your channel, and I enjoy your participation in the GGC and helping with the dogrows.com website. So just want to say thanks, man. Sorry the cup's not going on. I would have looked forward to possibly meeting you there. But, maybe another time, my friend. You don't look like a blues bro, but hey, why LEDs? Wait, you don't look like a blues bro, but hey, why not? Yeah, why not? What about those new Mars remote control LEDs? Yeah, you might use the remote once a cycle. So if you think the remote's worth it, then yeah, get one. God bless the living soil. Okay, so we're just reading comments now. People are dropping off a little bit, and we've had a good time. We had a good time. It's a Saturday afternoon. We're fueled up. We got a little coffee in us. We'll go down, go back over to the shop, do some milling, get some progress on this thing, and we'll get this out to you guys for all you DIY guys. Comments are still coming in, though. Hold on. I leaned more with 5 off your video than in a year reading. Oh, you leaned more. Oh, you learned more. Okay, yeah, cool, man. That's great. I that's what I want. I want you guys learning. I want you guys innovating. Oh, wait, hold up, man. Hold the phone. Going into the private archives. Private archives. Here we go. Check out this guy, Rick, dude. This is a guy, he made this video to me. He's like, hey, Grow Mouse, check this shit out, dude. I built this light. And I thought that was pretty cool because, like, that was his first channel. Or maybe, well, he did a separate channel and it has one video on it. And I think he did, like, a response video to me. And I thought that was pretty badass. But what I was really impressed with was, like, look how sexy this thing is. You know, he took some aluminum, bent it up in must have been a finger brake, and put together a badass fixture. So I have a link to this on my channel, and you guys can check it out. But he gutted this Galaxy Hydro, pulled the pucks out of it and the drivers, built his own little thing, and has some like 6 CXB 3590s. It's his own grow hack, but like on steroids. Look at all that blue. That amount of control is gonna be really nice to have. So a lot of red, 630, 660s, nice balance. So very impressed by this, Rick. If you see this broadcast, I am very impressed with your work. It meant a lot that you took the time to make that video, to show it to me, and I really enjoyed it. And I hope everyone else watches it and enjoys it as well. So that's it, gang. Mars is garbage. Yeah, Mars can be garbage. Yeah, Mars can burn out. Some Mars will last a while. Some Mars will fry the first day. So that's why we build our own, because there's a lot of shitty LEDs out there. So that's it, gang. Thank you very much for watching. I will be in touch with all of you people over the next week in some form or another. So I'll catch y'all on the flippity flip side. Thanks for watching. Bye. Have a good Saturday. Have a good weekend. Get some sun. Sun's out. When the sun's out, the guns are out. And that's what you guys should do. So, yeah, keep it irie. Talk to you guys later. Peace. Pause. Attempt to end broadcast, but don't know how. Super smooth. Super smooth. Fuck it. I'm just going to unplug my computer. I don't know how to end the broadcast. Go live? How about that? Let's go unlive. Goodbye. Psych. Fuck! How do you end this fucking video? Jesus Christ, I'm gonna pull the fucking plug and go shoot myself in the cock.